Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Intoxicated Sports Report. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm Gage Samoji, and the man to my right, as always, is Mr. Emerson Hip. How's it going, man?
It's going.
Good.
It's Thursday.
Good. It is Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. Speaking of, what is in our glasses? Because I can't... Well, hold on.
Can you at least tell which alcohol's in it?
Tequila?
Yep.
Okay.
It's basically a Paloma. Yeah.
Like what we had last week?
What did we have last week? Did we even have cocktails last week? I don't remember what we made. I think last week might have been margaritas. Maybe. It definitely wasn't Paloma.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, whatever it is, it's good and it's refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel like it's a nice summer day, but it's definitely not.
It's far from.
Here in Napa.
Yeah.
It's been pouring rain.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was dumping.
It's been coming down in
a good amount.
The North Bay.
Yeah.
Santa Rosa's like hitting some records.
Is it?
Right now, yeah. They're like got on flood watch. Of course, we're watching the Steelers and Browns on Thursday Night Football, and it's snowing like crazy right now. It just picked up over the last 20 minutes.
We were just saying how, I mean, I think it'd be really fun to go to a football game that snowed.
It would be cool.
I mean, it'd be cold as hell, don't get me wrong. I think it'd be so... I feel like football's meant to be played in the snow.
Well, football is it's a very unique sport that can just be played in any weather, really.
It just feels so right seeing football played in the snow, I guess.
Yeah, especially when you get to kind of Christmas time, it just, there's something about it.
Is the game in Lambeau supposed to be snowy? Do we know?
Well, they're experiencing snow, but there's only about a 20% chance of precipitation. So
Gotcha.
We'll see. It's going to be cold though. It's going to be in the 40s, and probably dip down into the 30s by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor actually and check on our bold prediction status? Because I feel like I might owe.
You think you owe?
At least for one thing. If not,
I think I might have one tonight.
Okay. I like it.
It's been a while, I think we need one.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing it. I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
But we will get there.
Throw a little juice into the show.
Let me check. So you want me to check your bowl predictions?
Yeah, I feel like there might be some stuff that has coming past.
Well, I mean, there's some like Patty Barrels will win the NL Gold Glove this year. He did.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Wait, who predicted that?
You did.
I did?
Yeah, good one.
Let's go. I forgot about that one. I totally forgot about that.
I was getting ready to laugh at you, but wait, he actually did.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Congratulations. You also said you're going to win the NASCAR pool this year.
Okay, that's one that was on my mind.
So that one I will take off.
I'll take a little.
You said Jorge Soler hits 32 home runs this season.
Ooh,
did he hit 32?
No, he didn't get close.
Because obviously
he got traded with 12.
Oh, okay.
And then he proceeded to, he may have got 20.
Okay.
But
you said the Chargers will win the AFC West next season, which would be this season.
Yeah, that's still ongoing.
Yeah.
It's not looking great, but it's not impossible. Two game deficit right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll definitely pay for NASCAR right now.
I can't tell if he made that. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Chris Boswell, baby, let's go.
3 points.
One of my best players on my team.
10-6 Browns right now in a snow bowl.
You said, I mean, we should really go through these.
Yeah.
You said the Buffalo Bills make the Super Bowl on December 28th of 2023.
I said that?
Yeah, that's what it said.
You have it under me. Buffalo Bills will make the Super Bowl?
I think I could kind of remember that.
Man, that doesn't sound like me.
Should I delete it?
Sure.
You also said Tyreek hits 2,100 yards receiving.
I think those we've already
passed.
Handled. Yeah.
You said remember your 3 ties one?
Yeah, that was a bad one.
The Giants go to the World Series in 2023. We'll delete that one too. You said Rowdy Tellez becomes an All-Star next year. That was in 2022.
I feel like a lot of these have already been paid for. Maybe we didn't delete them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Sean Payton will be the Cowboys head coach in 2023.
That one I miss. He did become a head coach again.
Okay, so the ones we have now for you.
Yeah.
Hawkeyes make the CFP this year.
That's that one I'm going to have to pay for.
Chargers won. The Giannis asks for a trade in the next 5 years. You said that in 2021.
Yo.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then your best one by far, Alex Ovechkin will be the NHL all-time leader in goals scored. You said that in 2020.
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if you heard it, but he's going to miss about a month and a half.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
But isn't he like 30 goals away?
He's around there. Yeah. Yeah. I think coming into the season he needed like 45 or something like that to tie or break the record.
Yeah.
Give or take. So, and he was off to a hot start too.
Mm-hmm. So mine are all pretty good.
still need to be determined?
Yeah. I had the no NFC Championship game appearance for Dak Prescott in the next 4 years. I said that in 2021.
Well,
it's looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good.
It's looking pretty good. How was I bold, by the way? How do we get away with that being bold?
I mean, the Cowboys have been good. I mean, relatively.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All my other ones, kind of have to weigh it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the Super Bowl ones with Kendrick coming up, so that'll be something soon.
Right.
But yeah. So we got rid of a lot of yours. Look at yours is short now.
Yeah.
I like that. Mine are kind of. I think I might need to work on short term.
Yeah, because those are the ones that are.
Because the one I have today is a long term one.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see. Brett, you're in town now, bro. You owe.
Yeah.
You owe.
Time to come pay.
Zoe, you owe. Danny, do we do the Trevor Lawrence will cut his hair by next season one? He said Trevor Lawrence will cut his hair by next season, and that was January 10th of 2023.
Well, he obviously hasn't, so he definitely owes for that.
Okay. And then Dylan, I believe, said the same thing you did, essentially.
About Giannis, right?
Yeah.
So I got the Giannis one, the Iowa
Chargers, and then Ovechkin.
All right, I like those. Sitting pretty. I'm excited for yours.
Yeah, I think it's a good bold prediction.
Okay.
That's me being biased, though.
Sal wants you to look at his last tweet.
He can wait.
Yeah, he can.
He can wait. I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah, we're busy, dude.
Yeah,
busy.
How was that shot, by the way?
Good. Tastes like artichokes.
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. Well, you know what's funny though? If you think about artichokes while you drink it, you're like, okay, I kind of get where it's coming from, but it doesn't really taste like artichokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that in mind when I take a shot.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get going on the news, starting with the Major League Baseball awards that have been handed out over the last few days. What a catch. Rookies of the Year, American League. Rookie of the Year is starting pitcher from the New York Yankees, Luis Gil. And then on the National League side, Paul Skeens from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And let me tell you, Paul Skeens could not have been more unexcited about it. No. You're telling me this guy is with Libby Dunn and just won the Rookie of the Year in the National League, and he's just like...
He's also 22. I don't know.
I feel like I'd just be smiling all the time.
Right. Oh, yeah, he's living it up. He probably just is so good at things that he expects them to come.
You know, Devin says I kind of resemble Paul Skeens.
With the stash, you kind of do.
With less of a pizza face.
Yeah, he definitely needs to.
But I saw it and I was like, okay.
It's not far off.
Yeah.
You got thicker eyebrows.
Yeah.
He's got like kind of a wider face, I feel like, too.
So,
but
I don't know if that's a compliment.
What?
Looking like Paul Skeens. I'm just kidding.
You're the sexier version of Paul Skeens.
Thank you. That's what I like to hear.
You're the hot Paul Skeens. Remember that, Devin?
The hot Paul Skeens. New nickname?
Yeah.
Where's hot Paul Skeens at?
HPS.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody can look like Brody Jenner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's you're up against a tough opponent here.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Anyways, the Cy Youngs are from the Detroit Tigers, Tarek Skubal, who I predicted before the season.
Look at you.
Cha-ching.
God damn.
I also jinxed the shit out of who was the other guy I picked from Atlanta who blew his arm out. Spencer Strider. Yeah. But it was his teammate who won in the National League, Chris Sale, who had an awesome bounce back year for the Braves.
And you're telling me that was his first?
Isn't that crazy?
Cy Young. I saw it and it shocked me.
Yeah, I think he has one other second place finish, and I think that's the closest he's ever been.
Because he was pretty damn good for a good amount of time, right?
Yeah, he was really good on the White Sox, and then had a great first season with the Red Sox, and then dealt with injuries pretty much since then. But yeah, it is wild to think that it's his first because he's had a lot of good years.
Well, and how old is he now? He's in
his mid-30s. He's like 35.
Oh,
yeah.
Congrats.
But yeah, it's cool that he finally was able to get one.
Yeah.
MVPs, no shock here. Unanimous for both these guys. Aaron Judge for the Yankees in the American League and Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers in the National League. Ohtani first DH to ever win an MVP award. But
he just adds to his World Series he won, his World Baseball Classic that he won.
Yep.
What, 50-50 season?
Yep.
60-60?
50-50.
50-50.
Yep. 53-53 if you want to go that far.
So Ohtani has 3, Judge has 2.
Yeah.
Is this wasn't back-to-back for Judge, was it?
No, he won it in 2022.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohtani, Because Barry Bonds won 7, correct?
Right.
Do we see Ohtani getting close to that?
I mean, he's going to have a chance, especially as long as he pitches and hits and is good at both of those things. That's always going to keep him in the conversation.
You don't think... Because would you say baseball... Because, when I hear somebody like Barry Bonds, who was great,
Yeah.
have 7, is voter fatigue really a thing then in baseball? Because, you win 7, it's insane.
Well, it's funny because he won a bunch... He won one like in the late 80s, and then I think he won a couple more in the early 90s, and then didn't win for a long time. And then when he was all juiced up, he was like by far the best player. So it was he really never had any competition.
Got it.
For a good stretch there. But yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Ohtani's career goes because he's had 2 pitching injuries already. Is he going to be able to pitch long term? And then if he doesn't, is he going to go play the field at some point? Because we know he's athletic enough to do it.
Yeah.
If you're stealing 50 bags, you got some feet, So
it wouldn't shock me if they threw him in center field and it worked.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I could easily see him playing right field at some point in his career. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a unique player for sure. So,
and you don't think
I'm excited to see what he does, even though he plays for my most hated team in all of sports.
So you have no issue with him winning the MVP, although he does not play both sides.
I mean, you look at the numbers and the success of the team combined. You can't. There was really, I don't know that there's anyone that you could really make an argument for. I mean, Francisco Lindor had a great season, but I mean, we're talking about.
What about the guy for the Braves? Ozuna? No, not Ozuna.
Do you think Acuna? Oh, yeah, it was Ozuna. I think
he had a pretty good. I think he was in the running too.
Yeah, I think he finished 3rd in the voting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Lindor finished 2nd?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know. I actually didn't even check that, but I'm only assuming.
Yeah. Well, it's cool, too, that they both won the MVP because they both played each other in the World Series.
Yep.
Clearly the World Series wasn't what we wanted it to be.
Right.
Well, even from a game standpoint, in my opinion.
If it would another game, that would have added a lot more intrigue.
I think we were all hoping 7.
Yeah.
7, best case scenario is a Yankee sweep.
Right.
But
for our mental health.
Yeah, for baseball fans, I think you wanted to see 7.
Right.
Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
And I remember you making the point, kind of right after the World Series wrapped up, that these guys are unanimous MVPs, but they didn't have a huge impact on the World Series.
No.
Obviously, Judge really struggled until the late games, but even Ohtani was not special by any means.
Yeah.
All right, you want to talk about the fights that happened over the
I don't want to talk about one of them, but I will. So on Friday night, Jake Paul boxed Mike Tyson in Arlington, AT&T Stadium.
I think the highlight was the Cowboys cheerleaders. Am I wrong?
I don't know if I saw that part. I mean, I've seen the Cowboys cheerleaders.
Yeah.
What'd they do?
Well, they were just there, doing some dancing and whatnot.
Well, I'm glad somebody finally won at that stadium because the Cowboys sure as hell can't. But yeah, Jake Paul defeated Mike Tyson. Unanimous decision. The judges scored it 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73. Jake Paul landed 28% of his punches when Mike Tyson landed 19%.
Yeah.
Jake Paul threw 278. Mike Tyson only threw 97. This, I mean, might be prisoner of the moment to say this, but this might have been the worst thing I've ever seen on television.
It was bad.
It was so bad.
We had it on at work, and I was watching because everyone was at the bar was glued to the TV, but it was not an entertainment at all.
So Netflix claimed that 60 million households watched, which is an impressive number.
Yeah.
We were trying to watch it in Devin's room, but there was that Njoku?
Nope.
No.
Looks like it.
So we were watching it, and there was a big buffer issue. For a lot of people.
Yeah. I think at work we were about a minute or so behind. Yeah.
So I had to resort to watching it in other ways, which I'm not. Yeah, a guy's got to watch it.
Yeah,
a guy's got to watch the fight.
You're not unaccustomed to doing so.
No, I'm not. I'm not unaccustomed to doing so. Hey, if something's not working, that's on Netflix.
Oh, for sure.
If it's not working on your actual,
I'm cheating.
I'm cheating. I gotta watch it. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people are pulling for Mike Tyson because people love Mike Tyson. I know I was. I didn't want to see Jake Paul win. Even though I've seen Jake Paul lose.
Everyone I talked to at the bar was like, if you're not rooting for Mike Tyson, you must be under 25 years of age, max.
Like a YouTuber kid or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just, you could tell Mike, I think a lot of us thought Mike Tyson would go in there and knock him the fuck out.
That was the hope, I think. for most people.
And it wasn't. He went out there and he looked. I mean, he's 58, 59. He's old.
Yeah.
He looked old. Those legs did not look like he did not look like he was prepared.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for me, at least, because you see these him practicing. It looks so fast and quick.
Yeah.
And he goes out there and it's just like, oh my God, it's like a different guy.
Right. Like, what is this?
You really almost feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really feel bad because he made $20 million off the fight.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul, I think, made 60.
Something like that.
50 or 60, which, kudos to them for getting the money. But I don't want to see... I want Jake Paul to start fighting some real people.
Well, I'm just going to say congrats to both you played us, because that was not a fight by any means.
Yeah. It was like when Floyd Mayweather came out against McGregor with the ski masks, because he's robbing everybody.
Yeah.
It's exactly what those two did on Friday.
I think that was more competitive, far more competitive than this was, because I think Conor tried to beat it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was,
and Conor actually did go down eventually.
It didn't, because that fight didn't go decision because Mayweather did knock him out.
Yeah.
Or, TKO or whatever.
Right.
But that was by far a better fight than this was. This wasn't even a fight.
No.
I mean, Tyson got him a couple times. Jake Paul got him a couple times, but it was a lot of dancing.
I mean, the fact that Tyson attempted 97 punches actually shocks me. I'm surprised it was that many, because it didn't look like he tried at all. Generally did not look like he tried. And it didn't really seem like Jake Paul was really doing anything special either.
It didn't live up to the hype, but the hype was massive. I'll give him that.
The hype was massive. They won that part, for sure.
Well, I think, I don't know, this might have been, I don't know if it was a Jake Paul move. It probably was, because I think he promotes a lot of or he's the one who puts on these fights. Mm-hmm. I think it might have been a good move for him, right after the fight, for doing it through Netflix, because I'm not sure how many people would have bought the pay-per-view for it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the people having it already, because people are already have Netflix, why not just watch it?
Right.
Because I'm not sure. The numbers look good because of...
Well, Netflix probably...
That wasn't a joke.
Oh my God,
oh my
wow.
God.
That's brutal. That's brutal. Gage has David Njoku playing, if you didn't notice, in fantasy football right
and
now.
he missed a touchdown by a
totally
yard earlier in the game, too. But like I was saying... What was I saying?
Well, I think Netflix definitely was like, we're going to give you money because we actually need... Because they were probably down in subscribers. It's my only guess as to why they were doing this. Or why they were the one broadcasting it. So they probably were like, hey, we won't, do like an extra fee to purchase this fight. It'll help your views.
Yeah. And
we're going to give you as much money as anybody else would.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to see Mike Tyson box ever again. I've seen enough. Nor do I need to see it. Look at Jameis.
Oh, wow. That was sick.
Browns are kind of pulling away from the 8-2 Steelers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. On to the fight of the weekend, or, better fight. Actually, no, I'm going to give a shout out to the Serrano versus Taylor fight for being the fight of the night. It was the card underneath the Tyson Paul fight.
That was the female heavyweight championship, is that right?
I caught the tail end of it. I didn't catch the whole thing, but it went the distance. I believe it went 10 or 12. Taylor won via decision.
Those girls were beating each other up.
Controversy followed because people were saying that
they didn't think that she won.
And I think, seeing the stats after, like the punches and all that, it looked like Serrano got the best of her.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't paying attention to who was who, but there was one gal that had her eye just totally beat the shit. And I think she was the one who won.
That was Serrano.
Or that was Serrano. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, her eyebrow was... It looked like your dad's hand, but just a little bit smaller. Straight up.
Njoku!
They
went for 2?
Oh, it's only 2.
That's super random.
That was a touchdown.
I made it.
I forgot Jameis.
Why would you go for 2 to make it a 12-point game? That is really odd.
I have no idea. But, hey,
well, I guess now they have to score 2 touchdowns.
I'll take those points, though.
Yeah.
I'll take those points. Where was that, 2 plays ago?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you were saying they were throwing punches. It reminded me of Rocky IV.
They were slugging
constant,
it.
They were just eating the punches.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great fight. On a Saturday night, UFC, John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. John Jones knocked out Miocic in the late 3rd round with a kick to the ribs in it.
Oof.
Because when we were watching it, you can't really... we listened to it, but I feel like you can't really hear it like you can when you like listen to it again. And John Jones got Miocic in his left ribs, and you can just hear it.
Yeah, just the crack.
And Miocic is a tough dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he
He's been around the block.
immediately dropped And you could tell he broke his ribs. He had to have.
Had to have, yeah. That's rough.
Yeah. John Jones has a 20-fight unbeaten streak. That's the longest in UFC history. And then Miocic also announced his retirement immediately after the fight.
Yeah. Is John Jones' one loss a disqualification, or is that...
I think I did hear that when we were watching it with all of them.
Yeah.
Or when I was watching it with them.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the case or not.
I mean, John Jones, we all know how Dana White feels about him. Greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah.
But, he's
got to be in the conversation.
He has to be.
I mean, the guys in our lifetime that I can think of would be Khabib and him.
Yeah, I said Khabib, too. Khabib is an animal.
Yeah.
Different weight classes and all that.
Right, and I don't think he ever got beat, right?
No, he didn't, I don't think. So, John Jones just continues to prove that it doesn't matter what weight class, doesn't matter who he fights, he's going to beat him.
Yeah, and it sounds like he wants to continue.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, who's the guy, the English dude that had been holding his belt in the interim. Paul Aspinall? Or is it Paul?
I'm not sure.
Or Tom Aspinall.
Okay.
Sorry. Tom Aspinall. Yeah.
I want to see him fight.
There's another guy that
I want to see him fight Ngannou.
Well, yeah, Ngannou, but he's unfortunately not in the UFC right now. Doesn't sound like he has any interest in coming back.
Yeah, that'd be great. Though.
Yeah,
unless they already did they already fight?
No, I don't think so. That would be a good one.
So it was a big, and also going back to Tyson and Paul, I think it was good on them to do their fight Friday.
Oh, not try and
go against the UFC and John Jones. I mean, you're not. Yeah, they're not going to get the viewage.
No.
So it was a fighting weekend. Half of it was good.
Yeah.
Half of it, in my opinion, was not so good.
Do you believe that the Tyson Paul fight was at least somewhat fixed? I have a hard time believing it wasn't after the fact. I don't like to believe those things because I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, football's fixed" and all of this, but that's so many people you have to get in on it. When it's just two fighters, I think it's more realistic for that to happen.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I think I would believe it more if Jake Paul was undefeated going into this because he's not.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
It is hard for me to believe that Mike Tyson walked in looking as old as he did. Because he looked.
Yeah, he did look pretty.
Like put the man at home.
Yeah.
I mean, God. I mean, he would knock us out.
Oh, for sure. But it would take one punch.
Exactly. It was just. It's honestly fitting that they did it where the Cowboys play because the clown show just continues. Honestly, it just continues. Like Jerry Jones is there talking. Michael Irvin is there. I mean, I like Michael Irvin. Yeah. Or Jerry Jones. Yeah. They're talking. His mic's not working. Like, bro, if your mic's not working, Jerry, that's a sign. Stop talking. Right. Just stop talking.
I love it.
I'm glad somebody does.
All right, moving on to college football.
Yes.
Big matchup of the week was number 12 Georgia versus number 7 Tennessee. Tennessee actually jumped out to a really nice 10-0 lead early on, but Georgia came storming back and had that game tied at 17 at halftime. And then it was all Georgia after that. 2 unanswered touchdowns in the second half.
Danny.
Yeah, they ended up winning 31-17. Carson Beck, who's had an up-and-down season after being talked about as a top prospect at quarterback coming out of this upcoming draft, had a monster game, 347 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown as well. So,
look at Fields.
Oh, wow. Justin Fields.
How do you think the arena in Tulsa is looking right now?
Oh, they're
happy.
They're drinking a lot. I'll tell you that much.
We don't do no conga lines around the bar right now. I can tell you that much.
Yep. Other notable scores, unless you have anything you want to talk about with Georgia Tennessee. Did you watch the game at all?
No.
Yeah, we had it on, but it was actually really busy when it was on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, good one for Georgia. They're back in the mix. Other big scores this week, Kansas actually took down number 6 BYU 17-13. So after BYU escaped, near defeat last week, they dropped their first game in the year.
Okay.
Stanford pulled the upset against number 19 Louisville this past week, 38-35. That was a shocker. And honestly, though, looking back at it, I don't know how the fuck Louisville was ranked.
Yeah.
They were the only 3-loss team that was ranked at the time, and now they're definitely out of the top 25.
So, yeah.
But yeah, they did it in front of about maybe 100 fans. pretty brutal fan base we got down there in Palo Alto.
Gotta love the Cardinal fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that tweet of the picture, it said like pretty massive attendance today, and literally you can count how many people were there.
I mean,
at least at that point, at the beginning of the game.
Right. I mean, the Stanford band had to take up at least a third of the people in the building. Also, number 21, South Carolina, they held on to beat number 23, Missouri, 34-30, and three other ranked teams went down. LSU, Kansas State, and Washington State all lost this past weekend. So, a little shake-up in the, at least in the middle to bottom of the top 25. Yeah. Top 5 unchanged in the CFP rankings. Tennessee went down to number 11 after their loss, and BYU down to number 14. Tennessee is actually on the outside looking in now on the bracket, but BYU is still would be considered the Big 12 champion at this point, so they would still be in. One thing that's interesting is potential future Cowboys head coach and the Colorado Buffaloes have a real shot at going to the playoff right now.
Wow, good for them.
They're number 16. They're going, and assuming they win the next 2 games, they'll get a chance at the Big 12 championship game against likely BYU.
Yeah.
And if they win that, they might even get a bye in the playoff, which would be wild. Also, big matchup this weekend. Number 5 Indiana, who's undefeated, still at number 2 Ohio State.
Shout out Indiana for being undefeated.
Fucking wild. Well, it's funny though. They've played. I think they played the bottom 7 teams in the Big Ten. That's their schedule so far in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Which is tells you they haven't really played.
Pretty nice schedule.
It's pretty funny that that's the case though. But they beat up on everybody, so they'll finally get to test themselves against Ohio State this week. But yeah, it's kind of funny that we've gotten to the end of the year and there's not a lot of big matchups on paper. Going into the heading into the championship week.
Speaking of Colorado, you got to give them their flowers for starting the season. Undefeated 3-0, and then falling off pretty bad. Yeah. And then now Deion Sanders has turned it around.
Well, I think it's been a lot better because for one they've gotten a little more continuity, but they've been able to flush out the noise. The spotlight hasn't been on them quite as much because it's Deion's now established there. So yeah, I think it's worked in their favor for sure.
Are you bold predict? Is Deion Sanders going to be the head coach of the Cowboys?
Actually,
it's not going to happen.
I don't think it is. I actually think he's going to stay, even though Shedeur is likely leaving. Travis Hunter is going to go to the NFL. It sounds like.
Yeah.
I think he's going to stay. I think his next job will most likely be Florida State.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Hey, alma mater.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, their coach is going to get canned after this year. I think there's no question about that.
Well, I just don't know because I've heard the whole, the Cowboys could draft Shedeur and then Deion would come right after.
Right.
I just don't know if the Cowboys can actually pull off getting the first pick.
They have a chance. I mean, they're probably going to have to lose the rest of their games, which doesn't seem unlikely.
Well, they do. Yeah, it doesn't. It does not. And they do play the Giants on Thanksgiving. So the Giants.
That's a team that they could accidentally beat.
I know. That'd be classic Cowboys.
It would be.
But anyways.
But I think. I think Deion probably sticks it out at Colorado longer. Joel Klatt, either yesterday or today, was on the herd. He was saying that Deion said, I don't really have interest in the NFL right now because I'd rather teach young men, and you're not really doing that in the NFL level,
No, so, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, he could just be saying that.
Yeah.
But
because also Michael Irvin was on the herd a couple days ago. And he said a pretty good.
I got some good sources.
He said a pretty reliable source that said if Shedeur was at the Cowboys, he'd be the head coach of the Cowboys. He'd want to be the head coach of the Cowboys. So.
And I believe that 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be
hilarious.
I mean, I don't really want that, but even I was shocked that Colin Cowherd even said that the Cowboys should do that. Because I feel like it's something that Colin would say. Why would you want more of the circus?
Yeah.
So I feel like that would kind of be that.
Right. But I mean. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that Deion would embrace, the circus thing, because he's all about the lights,
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I agree with you that I don't know that that's really the best interest of the franchise to embrace that.
I mean, none of it's going to happen, so let's not talk about it anymore. Because I know that's something my dad's probably hoping for. Oh, yeah. He would love for Deion to be the head coach of the Cowboys. I mean, it'd be fun.
It would be.
It would be really fun.
I mean,
and if Shedeur could be the quarterback,
as if the cameras aren't on the Cowboys enough, it would just be insane.
It'd be times 100. It'd be to the moon.
Yeah,
you couldn't. You couldn't stop it.
And the Cowboys would probably suck for the first couple of years, and then he might turn it around, but it would not be, boom, right out the gate. They're good. Did it go in?
Yeah, it did. Boswell.
Yep.
We got a game, 13-18. The Browns are up with a little less than 8 left in the fourth quarter.
It's not over. We have the 127th big game this Saturday in Berkeley. Cal's 14.5-point favorites against Stanford.
Who you got?
Cal Bears are gonna roll. Stanford's coming off a really high, the highest point of the season, and it's gonna come crashing down. I can feel it.
Who holds the axe currently? Is it Cal?
Cal's on a three-game winning streak right now. 4 of the last 5.
They've come a long way from not having for 10 years.
Stanford won 9 in a row
9
before
in a row.
the past 4 or 5 years or whatever.
I thought I was gonna be exaggerating when I said 10.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
Yeah, it was a good run for Stanford. They're not there anymore.
Big games are fun to go to. I've been to a few. I've been lucky to go to a few in my life, and they're good times.
I can only recall, honestly, going to 2.
Well, I went to one with you.
Yep. And I went to one with Danny.
Oh, that's it?
the only other time.
Oh, jeez, okay.
But for whatever reason, it was just kind of a game that we didn't circle on the calendar.
Well, because you'd probably rather see the SC
And Cat was never good.
or the
when we were
Notre
going.
Dame.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you'd probably rather see those ones.
It was always the week before Thanksgiving too. I don't know if that was a factor in our decision or not, but yeah.
Did this game used to always be the last game of the season?
It used to. When the schedule was only 11 games, it was. Yeah.
I still wish it would be that.
Yeah.
I don't really
I think
know
part of
schedule works.
it is because the students leave because Stanford is on, and Cal. I know Stanford for sure is on the quarter system, or they're not the normal one.
Like the semester.
Yeah, they might be on quarters, so the quarter ends, and so the kids leave campus around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So they if they did it the Thanksgiving weekend, which would be the last regular season game. They just fear that no one would go to the game. They wouldn't have any kids.
That makes sense. Yeah. So go Bears.
Yep.
14.5 is a big nut. I almost wish you would have put this in our picks just for fun.
Hey, I guess it's too late. Yeah.
I guess we both could pick one or the other.
I guess we could do that. Do a little bonus pick. I'll take Stanford.
I'll take Cal.
Shit, they could lose by 2 touchdowns and I win. Are we shaking on this?
I'll shake on
okay,
it.
perfect. Yeah. All right. Additional pick
Is in.
All right. Let's recap last week's picks. We pretty much did what we do every week. You went 1-2, I went 2-1.
It's better than 0-3.
It is. It
for
is. Me. I can't believe how well I'm doing this year. I'm 18-8-1.
That's great.
Yeah. No, I'll give a pat on the back.
I'll give you one too.
But plenty of season left to blow this. Gage, you're 10-17.
Yeah.
You got some time.
It's all right.
Who are you rolling with this week to help improve that record?
Speaking of Dion and the Colorado Buffaloes, I'm going to go with Colorado -3 at Kansas. I'm going to roll with Notre Dame -14 versus Army.
Army's undefeated too.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
And I'm going to go Ohio State -10.5 versus Indiana. I don't really
Game of the week.
I don't love the big numbers on these lines, but it's just how it is.
I really didn't know what to think about that line because, Ohio State we know is good, but how good are they? Are they going to beat an undefeated team down easily or not? And Indiana's got something to prove because obviously they've been. They're number 5, but if they lose this game, especially if they lose it bad,
and Ohio State's at home.
Yeah, that too. There's a lot of factors in this one.
This is going to be one of those. It's going to show you what Indiana can really.
Oh, for sure.
If Indiana wins, even if they win by 1, you're like, okay, they're serious. They're for real.
I think even if they keep the game close, that will be huge for them. If they can cover, plus 10.5, I think that will be huge.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, if they get blown out, they may get knocked out of the top 12, which would suck for them.
And of course, I'm taking Cal.
Yeah, that's right.
Plus 14.5. Or minus 14.5, excuse me.
Yeah. On my side, I'm going with number 21, Arizona State, -3 versus number 14, BYU. Arizona State's coming off a big win, but BYU coming off a bad loss. Usually, I would be thinking the other way around, but I like ASU at home in this one.
Okay.
I'm also taking number 15, Texas A&M, -2.5 at Auburn. And then, last but not least, number 13, SMU, -10 at Virginia. Don't love either of those picks, to be completely honest.
The Browns fumbled it?
Oh, shit.
Jeez.
Steelers right back in it. Yeah. But we're rolling with him.
Okay.
Picks are in.
Picks.
Oh, and Stanford plus 14.5.
I could easily see Cal not covering that game.
I mean, yeah.
You never know.
I mean, having to win by more than 2 touchdowns is not an easy task.
No.
Especially in a rivalry game, you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Cal Stanford games is what goes on the sideline when they're holding the axe and they just look at each other the whole time.
No.
The whole game they're looking at each other.
It's just so fucking Stanford.
Well, no, I think they both.
They both do it, but it's just like, well, I guess it's really very much something that both these schools would do.
Yeah.
Very nerdy.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
Yeah. Just stare at each other.
It's a really weird thing that they do.
Pretty sick.
It's fun. It's a cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that they do that, but
Definitely goofy though.
Yeah.
Little goofy.
On to the NFL. The Jets. I mean, what's going on with the Jets?
I don't know. I felt like that needed to happen.
They fired their GM, Joe Douglas. Is Aaron Rodgers going to... is he going to retire? Is he going to come back? Is he going to the Vikings?
I don't see why the Jets would continue rolling with this guy.
When you said this, I hope he goes to the Vikings.
That would be fucking
It
fun.
would just be
It would be so funny.
good.
There's no way the Vikings would do it, but I think it'd be hilarious.
He goes to the Vikings. They go to the championship game. He throws a late pick
Yeah.
like Brett Favre did.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I think the Jets got to move on. But like, does anyone want this guy? Is the question. Like, who do you see that would value him to just bring him in for pretty much a one-off season?
Oh man.
I mean, I think the Steelers will be better off with whoever they're going to stick with.
It's a good question. Like the Browns?
I mean, I almost take Jameis over Aaron Rodgers right now. Shit.
It's a good question.
The Browns are going to be in an interesting position this offseason.
Yeah, they're going to draft a quarterback.
They're probably going to move on from Deshaun.
Yeah.
Right?
They're drafting a quarterback.
I would think so. Oh, wow. With a dart. Touchdown Steelers.
Wow.
Or maybe they will be 9-2. Shit.
Hey, the arena now is doing the gong.
Yeah.
What did I say?
What did they call it?
What did I call it earlier? I said
I don't remember.
the conga line.
The conga line.
Yeah. Wow. What a game.
I mean, wouldn't it be hilarious if we get to the point where Aaron Rodgers is wanted by nobody?
What if he goes to the Cowboys?
There's just no way.
Yeah,
There's like, I think it's literally impossible for that to happen.
He's going to be a quarterback's coach for Cal.
Yeah, there you go. No, for Butte.
Go do his ayahuasca in Chico.
Mm-hmm. He could do whatever he wants if he was a coach at Butte.
Oh, no. Kick the field goal. I know why they're not, but...
Kick the field goal.
I would love those Boswell points.
Yeah.
So we actually went to Palisades on Sunday. We watched of course, the Bills play the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And we happened to watch the Seahawks actually pull off the upset and beat your 49ers.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough one to watch. But, tip the cap to Gino. He made the plays down the stretch of the game.
He straight hit you with a Steph 9. That was
pretty cold. I'll give it to him.
That was great.
That was pretty cold.
That was in his back pocket. He's like, if we win this game.
Yeah, definitely hitting him with that at some point.
But I almost feel like it's too perfect. He must have done that just on the fly. Because he's not thinking to himself, oh, when I run the essential game-winning touchdown with 10 seconds to go or 12 seconds, I'm going to hit the 9-9.
I feel like the greats are the only ones that are allowed to do that. Like, think of like what they're going to do when they celebrate.
So you think that was planned?
I mean, it very well might have been, but I don't think he should be allowed to do that because he's not that good. No, he did beat my team.
Oh, he broke you guys' hearts.
He did.
For sure.
That was definitely a killer. It was not a loss that was good for the 49ers by any means. They've had enough wake up calls. We don't need more.
Yeah, we were getting that dude. The Scotland dude put a hex on the Niners.
I think so.
With his nice little Seahawk pullover or like zip up.
The great thing is he's like the most normal Seahawks fan I've ever met from a personality standpoint.
Yeah.
And yet, I don't know. But
so this game, Now you guys are 5-5.
Yeah.
You guys got to go to Lambeau this Sunday, which, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The Niners, they could beat the Packers. I mean, I know it's not Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball anymore, but I feel like in the past, 10 years, you guys have the Packers number, no matter where it's played.
I would agree with that too. Thinking about these next two games, if they could win one of them, that would be massive because they're going to be at Green Bay and then at Buffalo the following week, which I don't like our chances in either, to be completely honest.
I wouldn't either.
But I think of the two on paper, this one is the more winnable one.
Than the Bills game?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Based on the way both those teams are playing.
That's a brutal stretch, though. You have to,
right?
You got to go to Lambeau and then got to go to Orchard Park.
I mean, I think the worst part is that the Niners have just set themselves up for this, where they have to win these games because they could easily be 8-2. They should probably be at least 7-3. And we might not even be thinking. We might be favorites against the Packers if we're in that position. But yeah, it's going to be. My feeling at this point is the best case scenario they could ask for is to be playing the Cardinals on the last week of the season, and with a chance to win the division, in that game.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure that that's a realistic possibility because we also have to play the Lions later on in the season. We have to play the Rams, who we've already lost to, and then of course the Cardinals, who we've already lost to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's really no cupcakes left on the schedule.
Because even if you guys don't win the division,
there's no way we're getting in a wild card. I feel like
because of the whole Viking Packer situation.
The Vikings already beat us, so they win a tiebreaker even if we got to that point. But they're 8-2.
So you pretty much have to win the division.
That's what I'm feeling right now, and to win the division, I'm comfortably would say they got to win 10 games. They're already in a hole too because they're 1-3 in divisional games.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where my fantasy team is at, where I need everything to go right.
I'm glad you mentioned that. What team has a better chance of running the table? I mean, going all the way.
Yeah.
The Niners or your fantasy team?
I think my fantasy team does, and I hate to say that, but I think it's real.
And I mean, going all the way to winning the championship.
No, I know. Yeah. No, I really think my fantasy team does, because I think my team is actually pretty good on paper right now, but I've been a little bitten. And I'm in a shitty spot. Right now.
Almost lost last week too,
bro. And of course, I'm going to have to sweat it out on Monday night again, most likely this week. I don't have anyone playing, but Dylan does.
It's never easy.
No,
nothing easy.
Yeah,
nothing.
That was easy.
Nothing easy. Oh man, yeah.
So that's how my football season's going.
Well, at least it's not as bad.
How about yours?
At least it's not as bad as the Cowboys. My Cowboys got beat by the Texans, who are now the official team of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 34-10 on Monday Night Football.
We can move on now if you want.
I'm kidding. No. I got some things I want to say. So the Cowboys, sixth straight home game trailing by 20+ points.
That's fucking insane.
That is the longest streak in NFL history.
That is insane.
Including the playoffs. I assume that's including the
Packer game. Yeah.
That's insane.
That is wild.
They are so bad. They're so bad. You're gonna see my picks? I'm picking against the Cowboys the rest of the season.
It's fair. It's totally fair. What about the Giants?
I might. Sorry. I take it back. I might not pick that game.
Well, DeVito's playing now.
Cutlets versus it's Koopy Rushy?
Koopy Rushy versus Cutlets.
It's Cutlets. It's a combination of Cutlets, Koopy. We have Drew Lock and then Trey Lance. So
Drew Lock's the backup for the Giants. Right?
Take your pick. It's gonna be shitty.
That's fucking amazing.
So I mean, Thanksgiving's gonna be a movie.
Yeah. Are you turning the TV on? What slot are they playing in this year?
They always play the afternoon.
The middle one, yeah.
It's always the Lions always play 10 o'clock our time, and then the Cowboys always play at 1 our time. And then
I kind of thought that maybe it was always locked in that way, but I couldn't remember. And then there's always the other game that's the night game, right?
Yeah. Which wasn't a thing until 10 or 12 years ago, probably.
Right.
Something like that. So, yeah, the Cowboys are just not. And, it's fine. Like I said a few weeks ago, I want them to lose every game from here on out.
I mean, yeah.
There's no need for them to win another game.
I was actually talking with a Cowboys fan at the bar during the Monday night game. He's like, they shouldn't win it again. Like, they should...
Like, they should tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to... Like, he was saying, I mean, reiterating what you just said.
That being said, they'll probably win one more.
I mean, one or two more wins is not unrealistic, I think.
So.
But they... I'm pretty comfortable thinking they're going to draft in the top, 6 or 8.
Yeah.
This coming season.
Which is fine.
Commanders this Sunday.
It's going to be a bloodbath. It's crazy to think they haven't played the Commanders at all this year yet.
Yeah, because they play them again the last week. Is that right? Yeah. I wish that was not the case because I need some more Jaden Daniels love.
Yeah.
And, that Cowboys defense is it's a little Swiss cheesy.
God, dude, it's so bad. It's just all bad. The season from hell is what I'm calling this.
Steelers 19-18 lead with 4.5 to go. Has Jameis got it in him? He looks like he's squinting hard.
They're already in field
goal. Pushing.
I guess they're not in field goal range.
Yeah, in this weather I wouldn't say so, but oh god, that was tight coverage. It was your boy Njoku though.
Yeah,
looking for him.
Sorry.
Speaking of the Steelers, they did pull off a big win against the Ravens this week, 18-16. Second time they've won a game this season without scoring a touchdown.
Tell me about it, Boswell.
So I saw that this has only happened 2 other times by every other team in this season. So there's been 4 games that have been won without scoring a touchdown. The Steelers have 2 of them. It's pretty fucking amazing. Boswell 6 for 6.
Sorry, Sal.
Also, Justin Tucker, kind of a letdown for the Ravens because he missed a couple.
I mean,
good difference in the game.
Do you want to say it right now, or do you want to wait till a little bit later?
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. Also,
Jameis with the pick to answer your question.
Jameis.
But the Browns still have 3 timeouts.
They do. It's not over. Biggest game of the week was probably Bills and Chiefs, and the Bills got the big win at home, 30-21.
They covered.
Josh Allen 4-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season in his career.
That's insane.
0-3 in the post. Just got to change that this year.
Yeah,
or 0-2 in the postseason. Is it 2 or 3? I know it's at least 2.
I know he hasn't beaten them.
He hasn't beaten them. It's a good point.
I mean, that's you gotta. That's when you make your money.
Yep.
That's when you got to do it.
I mean, this is, don't get me wrong, winning this game,
huge,
pretty big.
It's a huge win.
It could go a long way in deciding the seeding.
Well, especially if they have to play them in the playoffs again, they have to think to themselves, we know how to do it. We did it.
We've
exactly. Beaten them.
Yeah.
But 15 in the playoffs, it's a little different.
Yeah.
He just he revs it up.
Yep.
I don't gotta tell you. I mean, he's just different.
Yeah. Sunday Night Football was also pretty entertaining. Chargers beat the Bengals 34-27. They did squander a big 27-6 lead in the second half. After the Bengals, came back to tie that at 27. J.K. Dobbins, of course, had the nice 29-yard rushing touchdown to give them the victory.
Yeah. Joe
Burrow, I mean, he's pretty incredible. I mean, I kind of feel bad for him in a way because the team around him is just not, especially that defense is terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, he week in and week out, he's given his team a chance to win.
Almost the reason why Garrett beat you this week.
Yeah.
Or last week.
Tell me about it.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple other things I want to mention because one of them is my bold prediction regarding the Bills and the Chiefs. So the Chiefs were going into the game 9-0, 8-0, 9-0.
No. Yep. Sorry.
My bold prediction is I don't think we're ever going to see a perfect season ever again.
That is very long term. You were kidding.
It's very long term. It's very long term, but it could also happen next year.
Right.
So I mean, it's
kind of like me with the Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl bet.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was different, but
exactly. Because I just think when the Dolphins did it in '72, I believe there was only 14 regular season games.
Correct, because they went 17-0 that year.
So they only went 3 more after that. I mean, now there's. You have to win 17 games in the regular season, don't you?
Yep. So you have to go 17 in regular season, and then that would
20?
mean 3. Yeah, 20.
You know, 20.
Yeah.
Which the Chiefs I think won almost 20 in a row. Not 20. How many did they win? Going back to last season,
I think it was it was only 14. I think.
Okay, so
13 or 14. Yeah, but yeah, that's still a good run. Yeah.
And they're thinking about pushing or putting another game to the regular season. I just think they keep adding on these games.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it that much harder for teams to go undefeated.
I think also most coaches and franchises just don't care about going undefeated anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Is that bold?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get to pay this thing off, but
I just because, like I said, they're just doing the NFL is doing so much against a team to try to get to that feat.
Right. No, it's definitely looking less and less likely.
Yeah. And of course, the Patriots almost did it.
Yeah.
2007, which was a great team, didn't happen.
I think the best chance of it happening is if the Chiefs are having an amazing season sometime in the near future, and they get just bored. Like, they've won a bunch of championships, and they're like, well, we have this fucking amazing team. Why not give it a shot? And they, I mean, not to say that it's that easy, but if they're having a great start, like again, like they did this year, and they're like feeling obligated, that would be the only way I could see it happening.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. It's going to be extremely difficult to pull this off.
Well, I mean, if you're the Chiefs too, you're probably thinking like, man, like almost, like Sal likes to point out, like to say, playing with house money. Mm-hmm. Like we're 9-0. We don't really have that many good players right now.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think anyone thinks that this is the best team the Chiefs have had on paper in the Patrick Mahomes era.
No,
by any means.
So I just thought about that because it's so hard.
Yeah.
The margin for error is so much harder these days.
Yeah. And
the players are better. They're so much more athletic.
And we're in we've pretty much always been in a salary cap era, but I think it's with guys asking for these contracts left and right, it's harder to keep a dominant squad together too. Yeah. So yeah, I think even winning, we haven't even seen a team win 15 games in the 17-game era. So let alone undefeated.
Yeah. So one other thing I want to mention is the Lions. Mm-hmm. They beat the shit out of the Jags 52-6.
Sure did.
And that is Scoregami.
Oh, that's right.
The 1,088th unique score in NFL history, and I believe the Lions have 2 or 3
this season.
Yeah. The Cowboys game was.
There's been a bunch this year, and last year there was a handful too.
Yeah. So, Scoregami, it's fun. I like it. I'm not sure if we will, after the season, continue to talk about the Scoregamis, but this season it's kind of like just what we're doing this season.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, I think it's a fun thing. I mean, I know we've been talking about it like week in and week out lately, but the fucking Lions are just dropping the hammer on pretty much everyone they play. It's pretty remarkable.
I know. It's like, are they like? I mean, we know they're kicking ass, but is anyone really giving them the respect yet? Like
not really.
Like a serious Super Bowl contending team.
I think going to the Super Bowl they've been given that respect, but I don't think anyone is like saying, "Oh, I think they're going to beat the Chiefs or the Bills." Yeah. Because and part of it is this is like, of course last year they were really good, but I think even them getting to the NFC Championship game was a little bit of a surprise, as good as they were.
And they had it.
Yeah, and that was the first year they were good in a long time. So they haven't built up the respect that a lot of like the Bills and Chiefs
like
have.
the growing pains.
Right. And even if like the Bengals were having a good year, I think they would be given a little more credit than the Lions.
I would love to see Bills Lions Super Bowl because I'm a little biased towards the Bills, but because one of those teams has never won one and
that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
You see some kind of history in one fan base that has been dying for years.
Yeah.
That finally wins one.
Yeah.
So hopefully, that'd be cool with that.
Yeah. That'd be a fun one. I mean, you got Josh Allen.
It wouldn't be, well, maybe from that aspect of one team has never won or has not won anything, or both teams have not won anything. Mm-hmm. But I think from a geographical standpoint, I mean, the Super Bowl does numbers.
Yeah.
But you have 2 like East Coast teams.
Yeah, like Northeast. Yeah. 2 gritty fan bases.
Or does that not really matter in the NFL? Do you think? Because like how we talk about the World Series all the time, like Yankees Dodgers is always what you want.
Yeah.
Do you think it really matters?
I don't because it's such a nationally broadcasted game or sport. The NFL is, unlike baseball.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that doesn't really make any sense what I just said.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I think Jaguars versus Lions is less sexy than
Patriots
the Giants versus Cowboys versus Patriots or something like that, or Steelers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the NFL, all the NFL brands are pretty big. Where I don't think it matters that much. People are always getting together for a Super Bowl party.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say because the World Series is hard, or the NBA Finals, it's hard because there's 7 possible games.
Right.
The Super Bowl, it's just one game.
Yep.
What are you doing? I'm coming over. We're making snacks.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So.
No doubt. That is one big edge that the NFL has. I mean, I don't blame any of the other sports for doing things the way they do them because they're just not as physically demanding as football. Mm-hmm. But there's something about like a shorter season and, one game can decide everything.
Yeah, it means more. It's like the SEC. It just means more.
And that's why you've seen the NBA, introduce the whole play-in thing because that brings that aspect that they just never get in a regular 7-game series.
Yeah.
Unless it gets to a game 7, but it has to get to that point first.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time to get to a game 7.
Yeah, it's not manufactured. It's something that has to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, player of the week.
My player of the week. I know mine.
I know who you're going with. Just say it.
I'm going Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I'm going Taysom Hill, and so I went on Football Reference. And do you know what his nickname is? On Football Reference. If you know this, I'm gonna laugh.
Did you know it before you saw it?
No idea.
No idea. I feel like I've heard it, but say it.
The Mormon Missile. That's what it says on his Football Reference page.
That's not what I was thinking. I wasn't really.
Well, then I was like, he had to have gone to BYU, and I looked back.
He did, yeah. Also, Missile. That's fantastic.
We mentioned BYU a lot on this podcast.
They're big time right now.
We might have to change it from ISR to BYU. That's all I'm saying.
Stupid.
He had 138 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 8 receptions, and 50 yards.
And he completed a pass.
Did he?
And he threw a pick. That stat line will never
happen
ever again. Nothing close to it, honestly. He's the only player who could.
I could have sworn I looked. I didn't say anything about that in the football.
Yeah, he was 1 for 2 for 18 yards and a pick. Wow. You said he was 2 for 2 because he hit the defensive back in the chest. I actually didn't even see the pick, but he threw an interception.
But Taysom Hill, the Mormon Missile, that one's for you.
Unbelievable stat line. My player of the week, he's playing today. Chris Boswell, 6 for 6.
Oh, man, look at it. That's a good one too.
Well, because I knew you were gonna take Hill.
Did you know that?
Oh, I mean, I had a feeling.
I honestly,
because Taysom Hill was my.
I feel like Boswell is something that went under my radar, especially since he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going Taysom all the way.
Yeah. And not only did he go 6 for 6, obviously he scored all the points, but 3 of those field goals were 50 plus. So it wasn't like he was just getting chip shots left and right.
24 points. Sal knows all about that.
And he outdueled the GOAT, so to speak, kicker, Justin Tucker. Sorry about it.
How many points did he get this week?
Not 10.
He got 4.
Not 5. 4.
Okay.
Back-to-back stinker weeks for J Tux.
We love that on this podcast. We love that.
Let's figure out what Justin Tucker's nickname is on Football Reference, so we can start referring to him appropriately. Come on, Internet.
Let's see here. I don't see
Doesn't have
anything,
one.
No.
It is his birthday.
Today?
35 years old. Yeah.
Wow, where do you see that at?
It doesn't say it right there? Oh, you got to do more.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Justin
What are the
Tucker.
odds? Did you know that?
I did not know. Not until I opened up the...
Happy birthday. He is 35 years old or 35 and 0 days old.
Graduate of Texas. Hook 'em.
Should Dev get a Justin Tucker jersey?
That'd be funny.
That'd be hard.
That'd be really funny. Got to find out what number he was.
Find out for you right now.
It'd be great if he was like some ugly ass 30, 39.
19.
19? No, that's not too bad.
That's not
too bad. It's kind of a kicker number.
That's pretty funny, though. Happy birthday, Justin Tucker.
You stink. No.
What are the odds?
He's been struggling this year, though, man. He's not the same guy.
He's not an automatic 10.
Far from it.
He is not an automatic
6th time in 11 games this year scoring less than 10 fantasy points.
Yes, he is.
So, we're back on the winning side here, Danny. You had a little run where he was cooking, but back to reality. Oh, I thought this guy was injured.
No, he's heating up his foot. I think those are heaters right there.
That's interesting.
I mean,
I dig the I dig the hustle.
Yeah. Good strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's recap last week's picks. We both did pretty good, actually, if I remember.
I know,
correctly.
I went 2-1.
You sure did. There it is. Yes, 2-1, Gage. You were plus 200. I went
about time, man.
I went 2-1 also. First winning week since pre-Tulsa. For me.
Oh, really?
I've been struggle busting it over here.
This is pre-Tulsa.
I didn't net any money, of course, but I'll take the positive record.
Of course.
All day, every day. Of course, you scored on the Cowboys. Sorry, like you always do, and the Bills, which was our head-to-head matchup. I lost that one. You lost Baltimore against the Steelers. You probably deserved to win that one, but that kicker guy, he let you down.
Yeah. Hey, he got less than 10, but at what cost?
Yeah, right. My two wins were the Rams. They covered against New England, and Seattle actually beat the Niners outright, like we talked about earlier. What was with the line on the replay?
The lines? Or
there was like that dotted red line on the replay.
That's the for intentional grounding, I think.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that was like the line of scrimmage, maybe?
Like the dotted red lines?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's if he goes beyond that square, he can throw it no matter.
Oh, that was I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I think when they flipped the camera, it was not showing it in the right direction.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
That's why I was confused.
So what's our overall record right now?
All right, so we are looking at Gage. You're 14-13.
Okay.
You're at zero monies.
0 monies.
And you're in the plus 500 range right now.
Okay, that's good.
I'm 12-14-1, so I'm knocking on the door. I'm minus $700 right now, but plenty of season left, folks. Plenty of season left. How are you going to turn your season around?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
You actually don't have much to turn around.
No.
How are you going to make it go up?
I'm going to go my $300 pick. I'm going to go Washington Commanders minus 10 against my Cowboys. Like I said.
You got to ride the lightning.
Shout out Metallica.
Yes.
Outside of Thanksgiving, I'm going to pick the Cowboys probably every week.
There you go.
My $200 pick, I'm going to go Detroit minus 7.5 at Indiana.
Thank you.
I mean, how can I not pick Detroit when they dropped almost what could have covered by 40?
They're crushing.
Watch my luck. They're going to win by 2.
George Goff throws 5 picks again.
And then I'm going to go my $100 pick. You picked.
I took Seattle.
You took Seattle. I think
Arizona.
the line for me. I did it a couple days ago, and I think it was.
It may have gone both ways. Who knows?
Yeah, I changed it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Houston minus 7.5 at or versus
Tennessee
Titans. Yeah. You know, the big rivalry that is the Texans Titans.
Hey, the Titans used to be in Houston, so maybe the Titans fans or maybe the Houston fans are anti.
At least be the Oilers.
Yeah. So maybe Texans fans are like fuck our old team.
That'd be an interesting game to go to.
That actually might be
because especially like if it's in Houston, because I bet there's a lot of Oilers/Titan fans that live in Houston. I'd have to ask Nick or like Blake or.
Well, I also wonder if because sometimes when teams leave, fan bases are like anti that. They're like, oh, I hate that team now. They took our team or whatever.
But when did the Oilers leave Houston? Because Houston didn't get the Texans until 2002.
Yeah, I think it was sometime in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, like mid to late 90s.
So there was probably still a good amount
gap.
of time that was no team there.
Right.
So I would think that people probably root for the Titans because, or either that or the Cowboys because they're close.
Yeah, I think I would guess a lot of people jump to the Cowboys.
So
yeah. My 3 picks. I'm taking, with my $300 pick, the Ravens minus 3 at the Chargers.
Okay.
It's the Harbaugh Bowl.
That's going to be fun.
Jim has not beaten his brother in the NFL, so I'm riding that train right now.
Okay.
My $200 pick, I'm taking the Seahawks +1 at home against the Cardinals. This is actually a massive game in the NFC West. Somehow I'm rooting for the Seahawks as a Niner fan, which is weird. But I think that would benefit the Niners most, if I'm not mistaken. And then my last pick, I'm going with the Eagles -3 versus the Rams. Been hot and cold on the Rams, but they had their big win against New England this past week. I think they're going to come back to earth. Eagles going to cook them with Saquon and probably the tush push.
Okay.
Like they always do. I think 3 points. I feel like Philly deserves more love than that. They've been pretty good.
Number. It's a good number to
I like. Me likey. And that's the picks.
And those are the picks.
Which generally means it's what time?
That was easy.
Last time for last call. What do you got?
Little basketball stuff. The Cavs did finally lose. Celtics beat them on Tuesday.
Yes.
In the NBA Cup. Group C action.
Right.
First loss of the year for them after starting 15-0. I believe they're now 16-1.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because the Cavs starting 15-0, they were the fourth team to do so in NBA history. The three other teams, your 16 Warriors, the 94 Rockets, and the 49 Washington Capitals.
All went to the finals?
Not the NHL team. The Washington Capitals. All went to the NBA Finals.
And it's the Capitals, right? Not the Capitals.
Ooh, what?
I think it's the Capitals.
You might be right.
Yeah.
I might have just thought Capitals. Good one.
Yeah.
All went to the NBA Finals. So just try to wrap your head around the fact that the Cavs, the trajectory
would be the finals.
would be in the finals without LeBron James.
Isn't? Yeah, that is pretty wild.
I also heard on the radio, could you imagine Cavs Warriors in the finals again?
And it not being LeBron?
Yeah.
It'd be very far from what we saw, 6 years ago, whatever that was, the last time they were together.
Yeah.
In the finals. Brown score. How about that? Nick Chubb.
Would you have wanted to score right there on purpose?
I wasn't even paying attention. Did they let him score?
Well,
Did it seem like it anyways?
I guess not really. But
Should we watch a little replay? See what happened? Mike Tomlin's beard looking good. Got a little salt and pepper going on.
something like
Gonna
that.
go for 2 again?
Well, is it salt and pepper or is it the snow?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I know you don't really see very well. So. But yeah, the Cavs.
He is salt and pepper, Kevin Stefanski.
Yes, he is.
A lot of salt.
Another basketball thing I want to mention real quick is, well, actually, I have another basketball thing after this. De'Aaron Fox. Last week, he had a 60-point performance, which unfortunately ended up in a loss.
Right.
But then followed up with a 49-point performance, and that was in consecutive days.
That was pretty wild.
And I read that was the first time that many points have been scored in consecutive games since Kobe Bryant did it in, 2007, when Kobe, was on his... Remember Kobe Bryant in, 2007?
Was that, the 81 and then backed it up with, 30?
It might have been,
I
actually.
would think that was probably the most realistic chance of that happening.
Point. Yeah.
Unless he did it again after that.
Well, maybe I just feel like there was the 81 point and all that, but maybe it was around that same kind of those same years.
Right.
Where
Oh yeah, where
he was dropping
didn't he
50 a game.
Did he have a season where he averaged 37 or something stupid like that, or 35 maybe?
Might have.
Yeah. He definitely challenged some of Michael's best scoring years.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But De'Aaron Fox, I mean, that's
dude was cooking.
Kings didn't win both those games, like I said, but hey,
They did win the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll take the confidence boost.
Right.
For sure.
No doubt. 2-point try from the 7 for the Browns. What you got, Jameis? Oh, you got him. Oh, hit the guy in the back.
Jerry Judy's had a pretty good game, too. I think.
You like how they're superimposing the lines on the field? Did you see that? Because the defensive back was running towards the sideline, and then the beam went through him. You could
Oh, really?
you know how the yellow lines
Yeah,
around the field sometimes. That was kind of funny. Let's see what Kobe's best season scoring was. 35.4.
Was that 2007?
2006.
6.
And then 07 he was 31.6. That was I believe his next best.
Wow.
He was a bucket.
Absolutely.
Do you see the NBA is changing the All-Star format?
I did, and you don't have to explain it because I heard it, and it confused the hell out of me.
Well, it's just going to be they're going to split the guys up, all the All-Stars, into 3 teams, and then the 4th team involved will be the winning team of the NBA Rising Stars game.
Okay.
And then they're going to play a little mini tournament on All-Star Game Day with those 4 teams. I don't blame them for trying something, to be honest.
I was going to say, try something new.
Because we all know the All-Star Game sucks, right?
Yeah.
And it's sucked for a very long time. Mm-hmm. I would say at least 10 years, but probably longer than that.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for trying something different. We'll see how this goes. I can't imagine it's going to be good. But try something different, I guess.
Yeah, it's... Because I don't think they're never going to get rid of it.
They're going to always do something. They got to... I mean... it's kind of one of those traditions that has lost its luster in really all of the sports. I mean, the Pro Bowl is a joke, obviously now, and I don't. That's another thing where I don't blame them for trying something different because the game was not competitive whatsoever.
Although I think the MLB All-Star Game.
MLB All-Star Game. Is the best
I think
one.
you can never. I think it always has to stay true, unless you throw a couple just tomatoes down the middle, something like that. But I mean, other than that, it's like you can't really cheat it.
Well, the great thing about the MLB All-Star Game is like it's a very unique situation where you got the best pitchers facing the best hitters, and the best pitchers don't want to just like lay one in there, you know. So they're gonna give them their 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
Say try and hit it. So that is, I think, obviously the most competitive game, but all the other ones they just have no juice to them at all. Do you have anything else you want before I give my last thing?
I'll say mine for last.
Okay. Sharks goaltending prospect, prized acquisition of the offseason.
I want to hear you try to say this name.
Yaroslav Askarov.
Congrats.
I
would have botched
that. You know what's great? This is a great name, by the way. Russian guy. They also have...
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. They also have another great name in their goaltending system by the name of Vitek Vanacek. I mean, think about those two guys being your two goalies. Just grade A names. Oh. Grade A hockey names. So, yes, Yaroslav Askarov made his Sharks debut. Only his fourth career NHL start, I believe. Or appearance, I should say. He had given up 2 goals through 2 periods. Actually gave up a goal in the first 11 seconds of the game, which was awesome. Let's see how he finished.
Which is awesome.
He took it to a shootout and they lost 3-2. So didn't get the W, but he didn't give up any more goals. The same many saves he had. Sharks got a point out of it. We'll take that. Sharks have been playing better lately.
Oh yeah.
I think coming into this game they'd won 6 of their past 12 games. So they'd definitely been up in their game. 29 saves on 31 shots. That's a really good day. So good start to your Sharks career. He's been killing it for the Barracuda in the American Hockey League coming into tonight. So definitely earned this opportunity.
Nice.
So tip the cap. It's from.
Is that why you're wearing the beanie?
Got my Sharks beanie on.
The beanie, you bastard. So I sent that picture of the Metallica tour with Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Deftones, and Mudvayne to you and Nick. And
that was an old one, right? Like
from 2002, 2003.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's pretty good, man.
Which is, I mean, I would die for that kind of a lineup. Like, I'm not even being dramatic. That'd be a great lineup to go to.
Yeah.
And so it was a picture of a T-shirt, and you saw the front of it was the illustration. On the back, it had all the tour dates, like most concert T-shirts do.
Right.
The very end of it, no surprise, was the San Francisco show, because Metallica from
Bay Area,
San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I looked down at it said 3Com Park. Are you familiar with that?
That was a very short-lived name for Candlestick Park.
I'm glad you know that because I saw it and I was like, what the hell is 3Com Park? So I looked it up. Yes, you're right. 3Com Park at Candlestick Point was the name from 95 to 02.
It was actually that long. Wow.
Yeah. So 95 to 02, the shirt said 03. They might have just...
Maybe it was in transition because it was probably off-season for the Niners. Yeah.
Exactly. So I went into it, dive deeper to see all the names. So the first name ever was Harney Stadium from 56 to 59.
I could tell you what the worst one is before.
Well,
but
I'll
let you get
that. And then, of course, Candlestick Park, it had 2 stints from 60 to 95, 08 to 13, which is the best name it ever had by far.
Oh, 100%.
3Com, like I said, from 95 to 02. San Francisco Stadium at Candlestick Point, 02-04. Short stint.
What was the point of that?
Yeah. Well, what was the Candlestick point of that? Yes.
All right.
And then, of course, the best name that park ever had, Monster Park.
Was that 1 year?
04 to 08.
Oh, was that long?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No one fucking called it that.
Well, and you think, I was like, Monster. It's not the energy drink.
It wasn't, yeah.
But I think it was some kind of website, something like that.
Monster.
But I had never heard, the whole point of this is I'd never heard of
3Com.
Ever being called 3Com.
I do remember 3Com because I remember playing probably the Madden games, I would guess, early on, and it was called 3Com Park.
Well, I guess it was called 3Com Park at Candlestick.
Yeah, so it was still, that was probably another name that no one actually embraced. Because if you call it for Candlestick Park for that long, and then you still like have that somewhere in the name,
Of course.
you're just gonna refer to it as Candlestick.
Yeah.
But it's not it's deeper than like calling Oracle Park AT&T Park. Because even though AT&T Park is still like kind of what the Giants' current stadium was built around, like that name, even though it wasn't the first one.
Well, they won
the championships. Yeah, it wasn't the first one, but they won the championships. I think everyone still loves that name, but I think we've moved on at this point.
Like that, the worst name in that stadium's history has got to be SBC Park.
SBC was pretty lame. Yeah.
Because Pac Bell, SBC,
AT&T,
Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah.
SBC. I mean, Pac Bell. I almost want to call that just because that's what we grew up going to.
I do love when people accidentally slip that out there.
Bell,
I was like, oh, you're a true one.
Yeah. So right now we're looking at 6 seconds left in the fourth, but you guys already know this because you're listening to us.
Tomorrow.
24-19 Browns. It's third down. I didn't pay attention to where they are on the field.
You want to call this last play, Al Michaels?
No way. Not a chance.
Wilson drops back. Takes the sack. Game over.
Actually, they're in.
Oh shit! They got a Hail Mary.
They're in
chance
Hail
here.
Mary. And where's your boy Jaden Daniels at?
Yeah, need Noah Brown down there somewhere. Wow, 35-yard line. And someone's calling a timeout.
I could use a Boswell field goal. Just for
the Steelers could really use that too.
Yeah,
and the Browns for that matter.
So, what do you think happens here?
I'm gonna say gets knocked down.
I'll say Russell Wilson's sack.
That would be funny. I think
because he's got to buy time.
I'm gonna say he slips on the drop back, and then someone tags him down.
Yeah. Final answer.
Yeah, final answer.
Okay.
Here. Final answer. This couldn't take any longer.
This is a good Thursday night game, though.
Yeah, it turned out to be. I mean, on paper it was shitty because the Browns have nothing to play for, but good for Jameis. He gave us.
You know who this is good for, possibly?
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys draft stock.
Fuck the Cowboys.
The Cowboys draft stock. I'm telling you.
Could be good for the Niners draft stock too. Shit.
Come on.
Niners could easily be 5-7 in a couple of weeks.
You guys are running the table because your fantasy team isn't.
I'm not saying they are, but they got a better chance than the Niners. Oh, okay. You got the pass away. It's in the end zone and knocked down.
Yeah, knocked down.
I should have stuck with my first answer. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening.
Could be a short week, probably.
Could be a short week. We may or may not see you next week.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
If we don't see you.
If we don't see or hear from you.
Yes.
Or us. Peace.